Hi, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's the first day of our 30-day challenge, and I just want us to really ease into this practice because it can be so hard to throw ourselves into a new practice because we think we have to go all or nothing, but really the best way to really develop a consistent habit and practice is to just go one step at a time. So this morning we're going to focus on finding stillness from within and finding stillness in this chaotic life that we're all living in. We've just had Christmas and New Year's, so it's been pretty full on for everyone. So it's just time for us all to come back to our bodies and our breath. So we're just going to come to a nice comfortable seated position. You can either sit on a block, a bolster, your feet, and if you have none of those things, you can even just find a thick book, sit on that, just get your hips up a little bit higher. Otherwise, comfortable cross-legged position is also good. And we're just going to get comfy here. Take one last moment to just wiggle around, get comfy, adjust your straps, fix your hair, whatever you need to do to find that moment to just melt into this position. We're going to close down our eyes and just take a deep breath into the tummy. Just noticing where our natural breath sits right now. Trying to ignore all the distractions of cars or birds or whatever else is going by. You're not forcing or changing your breath yet. You're just arriving into your body, noticing what it's doing. Noticing where your breath holds, if it's in your chest or if it's in your stomach. And breathing here. Now I really like to start all of my practices by chanting Om. If that's not in your practice or you're not comfortable with it, that's totally fine. But if you like, we're just going to bring our hands to heart center, having our thumbs touching the center of our chest by our heart, getting really connected, feeling the connection between our palms. Just lowering the head down, slight tilt of the chin. Nice long spine, like there's a string pulling the top of your head. Feeling this connection here between your hands and your chest. We'll take a cleansing breath in together, so we'll breathe in. Breathe out through the mouth. One more of those. Breathe in. Out through the mouth. On our next breath, we're going to breathe in and out to Om. So breathe in. Om. Before we start, we give thanks to the yogis, the sages, and the rishis who've shared this knowledge of yoga before us. We give thanks to our ancestors and our people who've come before us as well. And we give thanks to Mother Earth, nature, God, divinity, whatever you want to call it, for bringing us together today. Now just take a minute to set your sankalpa, your intention. There was a reason you signed up for this course. There was a reason that you came to your mat this morning. Just gently ask yourself, what is it that you truly desire? What would you like to attain out of today's practice? Maybe it's just about reconnecting with your own body. Maybe it's about reconnecting with your practice. Maybe it's about trying something completely new. Whatever it is, there is no right or wrong. Breathe into this intention once you've said it. So to start, we're going to do some pranayama, which is our breath work. So prana means vital life force, and yama is to control. So it's literally controlling the vital energy and life force within us with our breath. So we're going to place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And just notice where your breath goes with your natural breath without changing anything first. Maybe you notice it more in your chest. Maybe it's even still in your clavicles. Maybe it's already in your belly. Just noticing where it is right now. Then when you're ready, I want you to start extending that breath. So breathing all the way into the belly, like a balloon, rising that diaphragm out. As you exhale, the belly drops. Really breathing into this deep, beautiful space here, connecting to our breath. We breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Hold the breath for a count of 2. Then as you exhale, try to exhale for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding our khumbhaka, our internal retention, for 2 seconds. Then exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just do a few more rounds at your own pace. Inhaling for 4. Holding for 2. Exhaling for 6. Inhaling for 4. Holding for 2. Exhaling for 6. 2 more rounds. So you notice I've got you holding your breath in for 2 seconds. It's called khumbhaka. That's a internal retention of breath. And it's believed that when we hold our breath in after we're intentionally doing it, we're mindfully doing it, brings us closer to our bodies, connects us closer to God, and brings that minute of stillness inside of us. When we still our breath, we still our minds. Last round here. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stilling our mind for 2, 1. Exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just returning to your natural breath. Keep your hand in your heart, it's where they are. Or just your hands on your thighs. And notice if you feel any difference from when you first came onto the mat to before you started doing this intentional breath work. Notice if you feel calmer. Notice if your mind is still busy. Maybe you notice absolutely no difference at all. There is no right or wrong. From here, we're going to cross our legs now. Still focusing on our breath, we're going to bring some arm movement into it. So, placing our right hand on top of our left, we're going to inhale, bringing that energy all the way up from the base of the spine, our root chakra. As we get to our shoulder blades or our collarbones, we're opening up the arms. We exhale to release everything to the ground. So it's a beautiful, gentle, slow movement. Inhaling that energy up within you. Holding our attention as our arms come out. Exhaling to release it down to the ground. So we bring this arm movement in just to get more connected to our breath. Inhaling up. Opening out. Exhaling to release. This is a beautiful one for if we ever feel we need to get more strength or energy or anything. We breathe in everything that we want, bringing it up from the ground, up from our root chakra, opening up our heart space, and exhaling and releasing everything we don't want. One more round, inhaling all the way up. Opening up. Exhaling down. Keeping our hands down by our side. We're going to inhale up through the left, taking the arm over, breathing into our side body here. You should feel a beautiful side stretch, opening up the ribs, expanding the side body. Breathing here. Your next breath in, maybe even taking that elbow a little bit more to the back, opening up that chest and looking up to the sky. Feeling that side stretch all the way up from the hip through the ribs. One more inhale here. Exhale, floating all the way down. Gently, we're going to inhale the energy up through the other side. Finding that balance in the body. What we do on one side, we must do on the other. Breathing in here. Maybe opening up that side body a little bit more, taking that elbow back. One more inhale here. Exhale, floating the arm back. I'm going to do that one more time, but a little bit more breath following with the breath. So we're inhaling up and over. Then exhaling back down. Inhaling up and over. Exhaling back down. Let's do a few more in your own time. This is a beautiful way to balance out our feminine and masculine energies, our yin and our yang. Because we all need to work from a space of both yin and yang at times. Last one. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Beautiful. Coming to stillness here. We're going to move into some seated cat-cows. So we're going to inhale, sending the chest through the knees. Exhaling back. Pushing and rounding the spine. Making it as exaggerated or as little as you like. Really opening up that chest. Opening up the heart chakra. Stretching that throat. Exhaling, really rounding the spine, pushing back. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Noticing that how all of our movements are connected either to an inhale or an exhale. Just reconnecting with our body, reconnecting with our breath. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. Just finding that stillness again, coming back to neutral spine. Letting the body recalibrate. Bringing shoulders over hips. Imagining that invisible string pulling us up again. From here, we're going to gently roll over onto our knees and finding tabletop. So with our tabletop, it may seem like a pretty simple position, but we still need to put intention into every movement we're doing. So you're going to lift your feet and really place the tops of them back down on the mat. You're planting them down, grounding them. You're making sure that your wrists are underneath your elbows underneath your shoulders, so everything tracking in one line. It's really good to then spread your fingers, and you want to plant down through all of the fingertips. So if I were there in person and I came round onto your mat, I wouldn't be able to easily lift your fingertips. So you really want to ground them in. This protects your wrists from any damage as well. And it just really connects us to the earth, grounds us down, finding that energy. And if you're anything like me and maybe a little bit hypermobile, You don't want to be locking your elbows. I never want to see you lock anything. So if you can, just nice and gently, a soft bend in the elbows, and if you can, rotate the inside of the elbows so they're facing each other. So that way you've got everything tracking over it, rotation in, and you're all set up and ready to hold your body. So there's quite a few little adjustments for just a very easy getting on all fours position. So getting nice and grounded and centered here. We're going to go through our cat-cows, but in tabletop now. So as we inhale, we drop the belly, open up the spine, looking up. We exhale, pushing into the earth, rounding that back. We inhale up, and we exhale to push back. You can keep with this movement, or you can start adding some hip circles, or maybe start exaggerating the movement however you like, just finding what your body needs right now. Everything I say is always just a suggestion. If your body doesn't want to do that, we don't make our bodies do what it doesn't like. When we start getting into the more heavier practices, I'll always give you options. Because the beauty of our bodies is it can do something one day, we can turn up the mat the next day, and it can be completely different. When you're ready, finding stillness here, we're going to open the knees up a little bit wider and gently come down to our child's pose. Sending the hips back over the heels, arms stretched out in front of us, third eye or forehead to the mat. And I just want you to breathe in this position. Find that moment of stillness. Connecting to your breath. Noticing that stillness is not the absence of movement, but the presence of peace. This time, as you inhale, you're going to spider crawl your hands over to the left of the mat, opening up that side body, finding your breath here, and exhaling to surrender into the stretch. Hermann Hesse once said, "Within you there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time." So just know that no matter what's going on in the world, you can come back into your own body, into your own mind, and find stillness in the chaos. Take one more breath here. We'll inhale, walking our hands through the center and pass through over to the right. And exhale down into this position. Noticing how the breath guides your body into a rhythm of calm. Feel a gentle expansion in your sides as you create space for stillness. One final breath here. We inhale, walking the hands through the center. Final breath here. We inhale back up, finding our seated position first. And then we gently roll back, vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping our core on, intentionally laying back nice and slow. Opening up the arms, opening up the legs, taking as much space as you need for this final bit of Shavasana now, this final bit of breath work. Finding our sense of comfort and peace laying down. If you like, you can place your belly Your hand on your belly and your hand on your heart. One more time, just noticing that. Going through one more round of that beautiful diaphragm breathing. Inhaling all the way into the belly for 4. Holding it for 2. Then exhaling for 6. Do one more round in your own time. Then when you're ready, completely lie back, embracing the stillness, surrendering to your mat. I want you to gently scan yourself from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Noticing how you feel, the top of your head, if there's any tension in your neck, down to your shoulders. Maybe releasing those shoulders a little bit more away from your ears, dropping them back down. Scanning your torso, scanning your arms, scanning your thighs, your back, your knees, your legs, your feet. Just taking one more big inhale here, releasing everything. When we create peace and harmony in ourselves, we find it in the world around us. When you're ready, gently rolling over to your favorite side and just holding yourself in the fetal position. Giving you one last final chance for self-love. Gently pushing into our palms, eyes closed. Coming to the mat, cross-legged position or whatever's comfortable for you. We'll end our practice today by chanting Om and 3 Shantis. Peace, peace, peace. Joining our hands together. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for joining me today. Give yourself thanks for turning up to your mat. Give each other thanks for sharing in this space. And give thanks to Divinity, Mother Earth, God, your higher consciousness, or whatever you may call it, for bringing us together this morning. May you find peace in your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I look forward to having you tomorrow. Be kind and gentle to yourselves today, and well done for showing up. Bye.